Okay, so they want me to talk about this boy, Charlie Kirk, who got shot in Utah. Him getting shot in Utah makes him, I believe, American number 18,533 who got shot in the U.S. this year, shot and killed. And I think that there were three more people who were killed, shot and killed in Colorado, just over the mountains, within hours of his shooting. And all the flags in America are going to fly half-mast, not for those 18,335 other victims, but they're going to fly half-mast for Charlie Kirk. That's just an observation. You can do with it what you will. I'll be honest, when I first heard that he had been shot, I made a joke about it on X. Because frankly, I'm just as used to theatrics coming out of America as I am used to gun violence coming out of America. And I thought that theatrics seemed more likely in this case. But when I did learn that he died, I deleted my post. I deleted it out of respect, not for him, but for the severity and for the solemnity of the judgment that he has now proceeded to. Because everything that he ever said and everything that he ever did that harmed anyone, well, he's going to answer for that. He's going to answer for that right now in his meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the heaviness of that meeting is disturbing to any of us who believe in it. But we'll talk about it. Let's start with the obvious, okay? First, I'm not going to feign grief or feign mourning for this person. I know that's a hypocrisy that social etiquette demands at a moment like this. But we all know that he would certainly not grieve for us. He certainly would not mourn for us, just as he never grieved and he never mourned for the wanton slaughter of the Palestinians in Gaza. He never grieved for that. And for myself personally, as a Muslim and as a critic of Western so-called civilization, I know that Charlie Kirk himself would most likely have officially anyway considered me to be his enemy. And as far as I'm concerned, any man whose enemy mourns him when he dies, well, he wasn't doing his job. And I don't think it can be said about Charlie Kirk that he didn't do his job, which is to say that he never did anything and he never said anything in his public life that would make me mourn his passing, just as I hope that I will never say or do anything in my public life that would make my enemies grieve for my passing. They should be happy when I die. Enemies are disturbed by each other's presence, not by each other's absence. But let me also be crystal clear about this. It doesn't make me happy either. I neither mourn nor celebrate. Neither of those reactions is appropriate, in my opinion. Whoever pulled that trigger didn't do it for me and they didn't do it for you. I don't even see them as being on two different sides. They didn't silence Charlie Kirk. They amplified Charlie Kirk. The power structure never cared about that boy. They used him. And he's more useful to them now than he was the day before. He's more useful to them dead than he was alive. Listen, you don't defeat someone like this, someone like a Charlie Kirk, a tool like him, by letting that tool mold you into exactly what they want you to be. That killer didn't deliver justice. If you think they did, he didn't. He delivered to the power structure an even more enhanced weapon. He made a mediocre, but dangerous and polarizing figure, Charlie Kirk, into now an impeachable icon for the very fan base that he most likely despises. And he made criticism of Charlie Kirk's ideas. Now it's disrespect for the dead. This is not resistance. This is a gift. This is a gift to the very security state that he probably thought he was attacking. No, it's stupidity. Or maybe, as the conspiracy theories are already speculating, what actually happened was just a purge of an expendable asset to create a more powerful symbol. Oh, they'll use his death. Oh, how they will use it. They will use his death to paint every dissenting voice, every cry for a more just world. They'll paint it with the same bloody brush. They're going to use his death to avoid once again ever having to look in the mirror. They're going to hold Charlie Kirk's body up as a shield against any examination of the society that created him. And the society that created his killer. The society that they made and that they rule, and you didn't do anything now but strengthen their hold on that society. They're going to use his corpse as a pulpit to preach from. And you just validated all the lies that they're going to be preaching. You understand me? Because listen, the truth is the Charlie Kirks of the world are not the enemy. The enemy is the society, it's the system, it's the power structure, it's the so-called civilization that creates boys like Charlie Kirk. I call him a boy because that's what he is to me. I'm 54 years old. That's what he is to me, or that's what he was. And also because he presented a childish, simplistic cartoon portrait of America that only a young boy could ever believe in. He presented an America without complexity, without guilt, without the burden of their terrible history. Well, that's a seductive product. And America has always been an eager market for that sort of a product. He existed because of supply and demand.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, I want us to watch and to listen to this speech from Shahid. Shahid, he's coming out and explain why he doesn't feel sorry for Charlie Kirk. We know what happened to Charlie Kirk and also what people they came out and said about the death of Charlie Kirk. So Shahid is coming out and explaining more and give us the reasons to why he doesn't feel sorry for Charlie Kirk. And also he's sending a warning message to the black Americans to prepare because America, it is falling down. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this till the end, then I'll be back with more comment. All credits goes to the original creator of the video. I'm your host Dash Lifestyle. Remember, this video it is only for educational purpose.
You demand and the power structure supplies. The killer and the killed are the products of the same sick society. Kirk and his killer and the other 18,535 victims and their killers. And wallahi, if you don't clock this reality, if you don't understand this reality, and if you let yourself get swept up in all the narratives and all the counter narratives, then you might just end up being like one of them, on one side or the other side of that gun. Because the machine is already spinning. The machine, that same machine that Charlie Kirk served so faithfully. They're spinning the narrative now. They're going to label him as a martyr for free speech. A victim of left-wing extremism. And they're going to use his death, they're going to use it to demand more surveillance, more censorship, more policing, more militarization of the police against their opponents, more police powers. They're going to use his blood to sanitize his ideology and to legitimize every poisonous thing that he ever said. And some of you are out here cheering about what happened. Why, you're fools. Why, when you celebrate, all you do is elevate and strengthen their narrative. Charlie Kirk was not an outlier. He was a product. He was the logical output of a system that's designed to generate exactly what he was. Like I said, he didn't create the demand. The demand was already there. He just exploited it. He sold a fantasy, like I say, a fantasy where all of the problems of modern America, economic decay, economic despair, cultural displacement, and cultural unrest, political powerlessness, these are all not the inevitable results of late-stage capitalism in a dying empire, no. It's all the fault of immigrants. It's all the fault of minorities, of wokeism. Some internal enemy that's not in power. Well, now he's been killed. And his death is going to be used to service that same system. The security state benefits, the politicians that he supported benefit, the media benefits because they get endless hours now of content, of debate, of fear-mongering, of polarization mining. You understand me? The entire apparatus of control gets a massive boost. His killing was not an attack on the system. It was a gift to the system. You didn't extinguish a fire, you just scattered the embers and made it more dangerous. The individual who pulled that trigger, their motives are irrelevant. It doesn't matter if they saw themselves as a revolutionary or they saw themselves as a vigilante. Their actions serve a deeply counter-revolutionary purpose. You understand me? You didn't help Muslims. You didn't help so-called minorities. You didn't help immigrants. You didn't help women. You didn't help anyone. All you did was exactly what they created Charlie Kirk to goad you into doing. Please understand me. You contributed now. Whoever did this contributed to exactly the climate that they created Charlie Kirk to create. No, they're both servants of chaos. The killer and the killed. No, you don't need a bullet. You need a brain. You need a mind that can't be manipulated. You need an inflammable heart. A heart that can stay calm, cool, and collected when everything around you is in flames. That's what you need. And wallahi, you can't let the hatred of a people cause you to act unjustly, or to advocate or to endorse injustice, or to celebrate injustice. Don't let that boy's enmity towards us and ours towards him make you think that his murderer is our ally. No. You don't answer words with bullets. You know, back in the day, back in the time of the Sahaba, when the Muslims would fight against the kuffar, the kuffar, they would bring their drummers and they would bring their singing girls to egg them on. Nobody ever killed them. Well, that's what Charlie Kirk was. You don't win a war by targeting the singing girls and the drummers of your enemy. That's no strategy. I've said many, many times, you have to erect your partitions around your discourse, around your people, around what you let into your mind, or you're going to lose your focus and you're going to lose your purpose and you're going to get confused and you're going to make bad decisions. You're going to make wrong decisions, unjust decisions, immoral decisions, because you let yourself get provoked. No. For me personally, I didn't care about Charlie Kirk yesterday, the day before, and I don't care about him now. I don't mourn and I don't celebrate. That's strategic indifference. And I don't respect anyone who tries to tell me that I'm supposed to grieve. And I don't respect anyone who tells me that I'm supposed to be happy. What is he to me or me to him? He certainly isn't more important to me than the most likely hundreds of thousands of my brothers and sisters that you cut down in Gaza. You didn't mourn any of them, and I didn't tell you to, because I already know how you are. I already know that your performance of mourning over Charlie Kirk has nothing whatsoever to do with respect for human life. He was just a vessel for an ideology that you hold sacred. And it's an ideology that dehumanizes people. It's an ideology that disregards the sanctity of life. And we've seen that on full display for the last 2 years. So no, obviously not. I'm not the least bit interested in accommodating your weaponization of selective compassion and selective sympathy. Now, if you want to paint my indifference, if you want to spin my indifference as if it is approval of the crime that was committed, well, okay, I already know that you never do anything but lie anyway. And I know that you are from exactly the same manipulated, mutated, mutilated, and maladjusted population that created the demand that the power structure met by giving you Charlie Kirk, and that gave you his killer. Meaning you're just part of that mob in America, that same collective monster that's responsible for the American genocide of the indigenous people, that's responsible for genocides in Guatemala, genocides in Bangladesh, in Iraq, in Cambodia, in East Timor, in West Papua, and in Gaza. And you're the same collective monster that's responsible for every atrocity, every heinous crime that your country has ever committed. As far as I'm concerned, you poisoned Charlie Kirk's mind before he could even have a chance at a decent life, a moral life. And you poisoned the mind of the one who took the life that Charlie Kirk had. So spare me your counterfeit moralizing. No, you turned your country into a psychological and a spiritual torture chamber. And then your country turned the global south into a physical and an economic torture chamber. And now that system, that same system that you're serving, is turning inwards on you now. I told you that political violence, division, and terrorism, and civil unrest, and turmoil, I told you all this was going to be coming home. Why? Because that's your business model. That's your business model. And you're the only market left to vanquish. And the more you give yourself up to all these twisted, polarizing, hateful narratives, well, all you're doing is playing along with your own demolition.
Nah, don't forget now. Charlie went and told y'all. This is an unfortunate sacrifice. Charlie Kirk went and told you that it was an unfortunate sacrifice that would need to be made to protect the Second Amendment. Things like this would have to happen. A citizen getting popped in broad daylight would have to happen. As unfortunate as it is, it was an unfortunate sacrifice that must be made to uphold the Second Amendment. Charlie Kirk fought for that. He worked hard for this. He worked real hard. He advocated for a fascistic regime, preached nonsensical race junk science that has been debunked for over 100 years. He hated the LGBTQIA community. An active TERF who didn't want women to have body autonomy and reproductive rights. He was a known Islamophobe, a white Christian nationalist, a man who he himself went on record on his little TV show and said he hated empathy. He thought it caused a lot of problems. Mr. Kirk worked real hard for this, and he knocked on hate's door all of his professional life. And the funny thing is, if you knock on hate's door long enough, hate will finally answer. And it answered him.
So we're supposed to give him grace because he was a human? It's crazy to me that There's people online in the comment section saying, no matter what, this person was a father, this person was a ball, this person was so hateful to communities that weren't like his, and very racist. At some point, all of us are not going to be here. Someone's going to be mourning our loss. Then you think about all the mass pew-pews that have happened. The response from that person, the response from the right, the response from people that are like them and that support them. But then when it happens to them, the Democrats, let's see how evil they are. Y'all wasn't saying nothing about them two politicians that were Democrats that got unalived, a couple months ago. Your president didn't come out and say, oh, I abhor this. I'm against violence, political violence against either party. But y'all want everybody else to be upset, to be sad, and to send wishes and prayers. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to come together. What? For someone who would not give us water if we was on fire. The entitlement. Like, do you not even get that? The entitlement. I'm not sending thoughts and prayers to somebody who only sent hate and violence to my communities. That's all. Consuela?
I can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk. First of all, Charlie Kirk don't believe in empathy. He said it's a bad thing. He said it's some new age made up shit. He also said people got to be sacrificed in order to protect guns. If he was saying that while fighting for reparations, I may have a little bit of empathy. But this white on white violence, he died? Damn, B. Life comes at you fast. I can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk because I cannot be in his shoes. I have no frame of reference for that. I have no cognizance for that. There literally is nothing about his existence that I can relate to.
When Americans are angry, they turn to guns. Every single time. We've been trying to tell you that for years, for over 20 years, because children have been unalived in their places of learning over and over and over again by hurt individuals. So it has happened to CEOs of the worst corporations in this country. It has happened to our president. Now it's happened to Charlie Kirk. Now it's happened to a political figure, which tells us something important about our culture. The internet and media have made it so the political space has expanded drastically. And in light of this, so have feelings about and surrounding politics. They've expanded, they've grown, and they've gotten serious to the point where people are so distraught and angered by their political emotions that they have resorted to pew-pewing people. And I can't act like I don't understand that. I can't act as though that feeling and that result is not expected when the talking points of these social media figures have led to a culture based around hating individuals who look like me. We are seeing a drastic resurgence of marginalization and dehumanization taking commonplace in America. In our social institutions, places that we're supposed to feel safe are now politicized in a way that hurts brown, black, and LGBTQ communities. What do you expect to happen? Charlie Kirk has been one of the biggest vessels in communicating this hatred. And now we're seeing a symptom of a deeper problem manifesting in the violence that was perpetuated against him. People are angry and afraid, and they don't like the direction that this country is going. And they don't know what to do about it. Blame the root problem. Blame the fascist culture that is taking over this country, that is making every other country look at us like we are crazy. Are you seeing it now? Are you understanding that something is wrong?
I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but
I'm supposed to have empathy for a motherfucker that doesn't believe in it. I'm supposed to have empathy for a person that demonized my people, a person who watched a black man get his neck kneeled down for 9 minutes. He had a daughter. But do you know what that man said about that man after he was deceased? And I'm supposed to have some empathy? You're telling me that my morals are compromised because I don't have empathy for a man who doesn't view me as an equal human being to him? A man that does not have sympathy for children being mowed down in schools, a man that does not have any sympathy for the women that are losing their reproductive health care and are set to lose more of their reproductive health care. This man literally said that he would force his daughter to have her rapist child, and I'm supposed to have some empathy that this man got taken out while spewing some more hateful rhetoric. Seriously, I You can be against gun violence, right? You can acknowledge that no human being deserves to have their life taken away. Nobody does. But at the same time, stop telling people who are affected by the rhetoric that these people spew and individuals, because now that a lot of people who are saying that you should have some empathy, now there's finally somebody that looks like them that has been a victim of this. I've been having to watch my people get killed on camera as long as I can remember. Stop telling us to have empathy for a person that does not have empathy for us. That's not how that works. That's not how that...
Right before Charlie Kirk got popped, someone asked him, "Do you know how many mass shootings have happened in America in the past 10 years? He replied, "Counting or not counting gang violence." Then pop, he was about to shift the blame for mass shootings on us. And now for some reason, 8 historically black colleges and universities are under threat. Campus lockdowns and all. All this because Charlie got popped in Utah, where the black population is 1.2%? What is it about whiteness that y'all can never blame yourselves? How did you come to the conclusion that you are as sinless as Christ himself? And now they want to put a statue of Lil Charlie in the US Capitol, comparing him to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Do you know what school Lil Charlie went to? That would give him the authority to speak on religion, to speak on race, to speak on politics. No, you don't. Because Lil Charlie dropped out of Harper College in Chicago. His first claim to fame was stopping a price increase on cookies at his high school. You can't make this up. Then he wrote an article for Breitbart, alleging liberal bias in textbooks. That affirmative action him an appearance on Fox Business. This is your king? Because the only one I know is Dr. King. PhD in systematic theology from Boston University. The one who wrote 5 books, who electrified the masses, and didn't have to cut his speeches into clips to do so. See, what y'all not gonna do is conflate these two legacies. Because Dr. King challenged America to live up to the democracy it claimed to be. Lil Charlie, he just repeated fascism, Christian fundamentalism, without critical thinking, might I add, misogyny, really anything that got him paid. America, not only are we not your scapegoat, you really don't even deserve to live in our shadows.
Who in tarnation is Charlie Kirk to have the American flag flown at half-mast until Sunday? Folks, I tried to be nice, and I tried to come at this as civil as possible. But where was this energy just a few weeks back when children were mowed down in a Catholic school in Minnesota and parents had to run down the street barefooted to rescue their child from a madman armed with a gun? Where was that energy today when there was a man in Colorado mowing down students? Where was that energy in Donald Trump's first administration when there was a mass shooter in Florida? Where was that energy when those tragedies happened? Why wasn't the flag lowered to half-mast for those tragedies? But you will lower it for a man who, as far as I'm concerned, gave validity to the very thing that has caused his demise, saying that we must accept a degree of gun deaths in the U.S. to maintain our Second Amendment right. As far as I'm concerned, he spoke his own death into existence. This is asinine.
Whether or not you believe Charlie Kirk should have been shot or not is not even my main concern or even what my last video was about. If you've seen my videos in the past, you should know where I stand. But in case it's still not painfully clear or you haven't seen my previous videos, Charlie Kirk was a racist, xenophobic nutjob. So what do you think my empathy is really going to be? But no, as I've said in previous videos, the way that people have become desensitized to literal gore, to the extent to where when someone has a normal bodily reaction to seeing something disgusting, they point and laugh as if they're the weirdos, is absolutely, it's just bizarre to me. All I was saying in my previous video was that if you see this video of Charlie Kirk come up on your For You page, to be prepared because it's going to be disgusting. I did not expect people to be offended by that. Because yes, I'm sure we're all aware about the genocide happening in Congo, in Sudan, in Palestine. But just because you're seeing those things doesn't mean you should now be desensitized to it. I feel a visceral disgust when I'm seeing babies get cooked alive in Palestine. The exact same way how I feel about watching people in Congo literally having to starve to death. Now, obviously, I can apply empathy to those situations because I understand how those situations actually came about. And I can discern that those situations actually deserve my empathy. Now, with regards to Charlie Kirk, that might be a different story, but I'm still going to have a natural bodily reaction to seeing someone getting shot up on my screen. I'm not going to feel bad for that. So my suggestion is to maybe throw your virtual signaling in the gutter and realize that you share the internet with literal children who do not deserve to be exposed to literal gore on a children app known as TikTok. Because many people, for some reason, are sharing the Charlie Kirk Utah video on this app. I'm not going to feel bad for speaking against that. Thank you.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how Shahid Bulsin, he has come out and give us some of the reasons to why he doesn't feel sorry towards Charlie Kirk, why he doesn't have sympathy towards Charlie Kirk. We know Charlie Kirk, he was shot when he was doing one of his show in Utah University. He was shot with a white person is the one who shot Charlie Kirk. And when Charlie Kirk died, there were so much a mixed reaction. Majority of people, they came out and say how Charlie Kirk, he was a racist person, how he was not having sympathy towards black people, because Charlie Kirk, he was saying that the people who are really bringing the violence, the people who are bringing gunfights in America, it is the black people. So Charlie Kirk, he didn't have sympathy towards black people. He didn't love black people. And others, they were coming out and saying that Charlie Kirk, he was protecting the Americans, the white Americans. So majority of people, they feel like Charlie Kirk, he was a racist person. And because of that, when Charlie Kirk died, we saw majority of people, they came out and celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk. We saw the government also started to track those people who were celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk just to fire them from their jobs. So you can see. And also, we saw the United States flag. It was raised halfway just to give a respect to Charlie Kirk. So because of what happened during the death of Charlie Kirk, it sparked a lot of reaction. And that's why we are seeing right now Shahid Bulsin is coming out and give us the reasons to why he doesn't feel sorry towards Charlie Kirk. So I want to read some of the comment here and see what people they have come out and say towards this how Shahid Bulsin, he has come out and say about Charlie Kirk. So this one is saying that I love listening to this man so much. One reason is because he makes real sense, and he remind we of brother Malcolm. Whenever I hear him speak, he speak the truth and cut peace. So this one saying that he really loves to listen to Shahid Bulsin because he always speak the truth. He doesn't lie, and that it is one of the reasons to why I really love to bring Shahid Bulsin. And also, you can go to his YouTube channel. It is called Middle Nation. You can go to his YouTube channel and will find him more of his video teaching people, educating people, and telling people how America it is. So I have some of the comment here, and also this one saying that the guy is absolutely 100%. So this one saying that MAGA needs to hear this exactly. So this one is dedicating this message to MAGA people. So this one saying that if this isn't speaking truth to power, don't know what is. So this one saying that Mr. Bolsen on point. Yeah, this one saying that Shahid Bulsin, he is on point. This one saying that the man speak truth to power. God bless you. This one saying that right on, Mr. Bolsen, you are always on point. Exactly. So this one is saying that Shahid Bulsin is saying everything that I think to the T word for word. This one saying that thank you, brother. From this one saying that preach. This one saying that thank you for sharing. Mr. Bolsen is so intelligent and intriguing. I will listen to this again and again. This should be shared worldwide. Exactly. So this one needs to be shared worldwide. And also, guys, remember this video, it is for educational purposes. We are not trying to bring problems to these other races. This video is only for educational purposes. So this is saying that that's a lot of truth for a Saturday night. This one saying that all true fact. This one saying that thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing this video. Shahid Bulsin speaking truth. So this one saying that this man truth well speak. This one saying that you find such interesting speaker. Thank you for putting this one in front of us. Exactly. So you can see majority of people, they have listened, and also they are agreeing with what Shahid Bulsen has come out and say. You know, majority of people, they didn't have remorse. They didn't have a sympathy towards the death of Charlie Kirk, and this is simply because of what Charlie Kirk he was doing. You know, who lived by the sword, he will die by the sword. So when you do bad things to people, also bad things will come to you. It is a two-way traffic. Treat people good and they will treat you good. So you can see how people, they came out and started celebrating. You can imagine people, they came out and started celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And majority of people also, they didn't have sympathy. Majority of them, they were saying how Charlie Kirk, he was preaching negativity towards a certain community. So because of all that, we saw what we saw we now saw the true color of Charlie Kirk. So this one saying that I love Bolsen. He keeps it real. He keep it real by telling it like it real in truth to power. So this one saying that I can listen to Mr. Shahid Bolsen all day. He speak truth. Exactly. So this one saying that the all-seeing eye is in effect. The world can see now. I told you. This one saying that I can't tell you how much this resonate with me right now. So this one saying that always speak truth to power. Love it. You taught me every time I listen to you, because I know what you are talking about. Some of them I don't even know, but I listen to you. This one saying that excellent. This one saying that I agree with everything he said. 100% trust. Hug from Brazil. This one saying that all facts. This one saying that speak brother. This one saying that I am a black American and I agree. So you can see also the black Americans, they are agree with Shahid Bulsin. This one saying that I do not celebrate the death of Kirk. I did not wish death upon him either. However, I will not pretend that he was a decent person. He lived in hate and died because of that hatred. You can see Charlie Kirk, he lived with hate. He was hating black people, and also he went ahead and say the mass shooting which it is happening in America, the people who are doing that, they are black people, and the black people, they are a few. So this one is always, he was always spreading hate towards the black people, the people of the color. And that's why this one is saying that when you live in hatred, you will die with hatred. So when you see when he died, majority of people, they hated, they were celebrating. So it was, I don't want to talk about that. So this one saying that, sir, I am with you 100%. Thank you for your words. This one saying that the YouTube is the master of projection. This was saying that 44 seconds into the presentation video is what I saw watching, and a bright silver shining object goes from right to left, and it looks the orbs or dodge the jet plane watch. This was saying that I want to hear more, play the video. Yes, this one saying that he wants to hear more, so kindly play the video. Also, if you want to listen to Shahid Bulsen, you can go to his channel Middle Nation, and you will hear more videos from Shahid Bulsen. So this was saying that I had no lies. Lies speak a straight fact as always. This is saying that I offered the same compassion he gave others, none whatsoever. This one is saying that is this brother Malcolm reincarnated 100%. This one saying that give Malcolm X vibes 100%. So majority of people that are saying that he is giving Malcolm X vibes 100%. So this is saying that thank you so much for that American figure more than the Ukrainian since the war started in 2022 and no UN. This one saying that, preach, sir, I agree with everything you started. So you can see majority of people, they're really telling that Shahid Bulsin to continue speaking. So kindly guys, thank you so much if you have watched until this time, and also kindly you can just go and subscribe to Shahid Bulsin, and also he has opened a new YouTube channel. It is called Shahid King Bulsin. So go there and subscribe to Shahid Bulsin, and we listen more truthful video. He always come out and fight the rights of the black people, the rights of the Muslim people, and also he always speak the truth. He doesn't lie. That's one thing I really love about Shahid Bulsin. So to find his more video, kindly go and subscribe to Shahid King Bulsin. Thank you so much, and God bless you.